Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Undertale Deltarune newsletter. This time, it's the summer 2024 one, and we've been waiting on this one for quite a bit. People were losing hope, but we finally got it. Toby did say that these newsletters were going to slow down with their content as they got closer to releasing the chapters. And this one is no exception, because it actually is like the second shortest one. I think only the Halloween one is shorter than it, but it does give a lot of good info about what's to come. And we're closer to chapters 3 and 4 than we think. And the newsletter kind of spins it the other way, that there's more to do than maybe you think, but honestly, I don't think we got that long. But anyways, let's start. So the Undertale Deltarune Summer 2024 newsletter, Deltarune Progress Update. This is like the majority of the newsletter. There's like 2 links in it to other things, and one of them is about the Deltarune update. So again, it's a short newsletter. But yeah, Deltarune Progress Update. We've got Torio and she's got that cool wine mom look on her, the big ass green sunglasses, I can't tell if that's supposed to be like a sun hat or a straw hat. It kind of looks like both, you know? Got a cool dress. And of course, the annoying dog peeking out of her basket, a picnic basket kind of. Oh no, Torio, don't let them steal your food. Yeah, but hi everyone. Deltarune Chapter 4 is making great overall progress. The time of writing, this is 7/23/24, and this newsletter came out like 3 days ago, 7:30, July 30th at the time, so they've made a week of progress since then. But yeah, all the maps are done, all battles are playable, only 2 cutscenes need some small improvements, 1 battle needs to be balanced and the visuals need to be completed. 1 battle needs a better background. I like how it has a background, but it's like, we need this to be better. 2 battles are having their ending sequences improved. There's still some things to fix and places to polish. 3 of my friends were able to play through the entirety of the unfinished Chapter 4. All of them liked it and didn't have any major criticisms. Phew! Except for 1 friend who kept mentioning that I should name all the chairs because the existence of Cherio implies that all the other chairs should have names as well. I'm probably not going to do that. A lot to talk about here. First of all maps and done and all battles playable is crazy. Got a couple cutscenes that need small improvements, but we all know the game's chock full of cutscenes. Toby loves them. 1 battle needs a better background, seems to stand out to me, because this implies to me that we're gonna have... I mean, obviously Chapter 2 had some good backgrounds, but not every battle had its own background. Not even all the boss battles, like Sweet Captain Cakes didn't have their own background, but we had some really good ones, like Birdley's and Spamton Neo, so I'm wondering what this one's gonna be, you know? Is it like the secret boss background they're gonna make it super cool, or is it just a random mid-boss that they want a better background for? And yeah, ending sequences as well need to be improved, which is interesting to me. And just some general polish. But yeah, they're playable, and they're good, they're written, they're nearly done. It's just like fixing up stuff. And also the Cherio thing. This could just be a joke from the friend, but I also wonder if Cherio is gonna be a character, you know? Like, are there gonna be chair darkeners? I have to know this now. I'm not sure if Chapter 2 is still the longest chapter, but Chapter 3 and 4 together are definitely gonna be longer than Chapter 1 and 2 combined. Thinking about that is kind of crazy. Oh, that's cool. Toby, I can't remember when he said it. I think it was before Chapter 2 released, but he said like Chapter 2 is probably going to be the longest chapter, which was almost a little weirdly disappointing to me because Chapter 2 was great and it had a lot of content, but it wasn't like the level of this is where the most is going to happen in the game. It was a lot and it was great, but it felt weird that this was definitively going to be the longest one. But knowing that Toby did what Toby does and kept adding things and making it better with Chapter 3 and 4, but knowing that Toby continued to do what Toby does and made things better for Chapter 3 and 4, just kept adding stuff and making it longer, I'm absolutely expecting there to be, like, some crazy shit with the final chapter. Like, this is gonna be a big game, I bet. But yeah, definitely longer than Chapter 1 and 2 combined, which is also very cool. We're gonna get the content of Chapter 1, which fueled us for 3 years. Then the content of Chapter 2, which has fueled us for another 3 years. We're gonna get longer than that between 2 chapters. That is kind of crazy. Which also kind of adds to the idea of Toby not doing Chapter 5 in this bundle, because, again, it's always a lot more than he thinks it's gonna be. I'm not sure if even he realizes how much more, but it's always more. He always keeps adding things. The initial development of Chapter 5 is also progressing steadily. Most of the team is still focusing on Chapter 4, but a few people are going ahead and creating an initial draft of Chapter 5's maps, working on bullet patterns, etc. Then we got some more summer stuff, Sans and Papyrus and scuba gear. Why does Papyrus have a swimmer's cap on? That's the hold down your hair, Papyrus. Is Toby keeping this canon? Does Papyrus still think he has hair? His long, luxurious locks that no one can see? Oh boy. I like his goggles though. He kind of looks like a Mega Man character with that. And we've got Sans here in his big scuba outfit. Look at him. He's having a great time. Why does he have a floaty and a scuba mask? How does that work? Like, you're so short. Also, the giant... Seeing Sans with giant-ass feet like that, like, flippers, doesn't look right. But also, like, how do you... Like, Sans, you're so short. I don't think you could even, like, crunch over that and lean into the water. How do you do that? So what? They're cooking birdseed at a campfire. That's great. Oh, and there's Chris and Suits. Chris's head is, like, twice... Is it just me, or Chris's head, like, twice as wide as it normally is? Like, it feels like we've just scaled up Chris 1.5 times and then made their head bigger. And there's Susie eating her birdseed. I'm assuming this was Birdley's suggestion, considering Noel doesn't seem to like it. Also, Birdley without a shirt. But no nipples. He doesn't have nipples, it's true. Thank God. Thank God he doesn't have them. He only wanted them. He should never be allowed them. Also, this is really good art. I love the campfire. Such a good fire animation. Chapter 4 is basically playable minus some polish, so it must seem like Chapter 3 and 4 are going to come out really soon, right? Actually, the release is still far away. No, you're wrong. Don't say that. We've gotten 3 months closer, but it's still far. Why? How does this horrible, despair-inducing, teeth-gnashing fact that keeps me up at night make any sense at all? I want them out now! Well, I'll tell you. Toby being Toby. I love reading Toby's, like, even when it's not character dialogue, I just love reading what Toby writes. It's on the verge of insanity, and I love it. Oh, and there's Alphys. Is she just working out? Is that it? Just taking a workout break, getting some water? Her chin, it's so big. Why are Alphys's proportions always so weird? Also, she's got, like, an orange bandana on, which I feel like they purposely made orange to be, like, the bravery soul, right? And then there's just a mini Metaton there for some reason. Is she like watching a Metaton workout video? Is that what's happening? What's left before release? That's right, creating the chapters is only the first step. Releasing the chapters is a whole other ordeal. And then Rouse with a little flame on top of his hat. Has he become Candle? Is he a candle boy now? And they're roasting the little marshmallow candies, right? Well, that's cute. A lot of, you're gonna see more of it, but I saw someone point out that there's a lot of like campfire references in this, which I feel like is either gonna be something important in the chapter related to fire and campfires, or is like a hint that Toriel, like a definite hint that Toriel is gonna be a big part of it and have fire magic. Because I feel like that's gotta happen, right? It's gotta. It wouldn't be such a big deal if the game was free, but since this is going to be our first big paid release since Undertale, we really have to take the extra time to make sure it's perfect. That is true. It's going to be paid now, which is... I mean, my heart hurts to spend money, but my soul hurts more to know that Toby has done all of this for free so far. Besides, like, the merchandise. But the actual chapters were free, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm more than prepared to buy it. If you're... Just don't make it like Nintendo $60, please. Like make it something worth it. Make it like $30. It's probably not gonna be up to $30, but I feel like $30 is good for you, Toby. Maybe $30 for the full release. Our goal is simultaneous console and PC release in both English and Japanese. Oh wow. I mean, that makes sense because it's paid this time, and like you've already been in talks with Nintendo and made releases on console so far, so makes sense. But wow, yeah, that's ambitious. So what do we have to do? Well, it's long, so click below if you're curious. Oh my, I love Temmie's art of the Deltarune cast. Is this their new form? Instead of stool form B and Susie form S or whatever, they've got like the pyramid. I love the little controller there. Chris with the power of gamer. I love how short Chris is here too. Both Chris and Rouse are like super short compared to Susie. Yeah, but let's see. This is like one of two links that we see. And this one is, I mean, like the Halloween newsletter only had one link to the GG interview, and I think this is like just as long, if not shorter than the GG interview. So again, really short newsletter. Yeah, quest to release chapter 3 and 4. Quest 1, Guinea Pig Syndrome. That's right, the first quest we have to clear regardless of any way that we want to release anything. We have to beat the guinea pig for a brand new function of Game Maker. Toby, the little guinea pig on a guinea pig wheel. I love that. Tommy's art is so good, and I love her choice of coloring. They're always so warm. Like here, it's more fitting to Deltarune, but in most of her art, especially art that's like of in real life her, or her Final Fantasy art she's been making recently, which is really cool. She always has such a warm color palette. Another little smear frame sort of thing here with Toby running. But yes, Yo-Yo Games, the creator of our engine GameMaker, are adding a special new function to it, just for us. This is a new command for GameMaker called Game Change. It allows you to separately launch different games that you have created in GameMaker and even works on console. That means we can create each chapter as an independent game project and swap between them using this function. Which is something that Toby's talked about pretty openly. In fact, I think he said he wanted to release this newsletter after GameMaker released that update, but GameMaker ended up delaying the update and he ended up just releasing the newsletter anyways. But it has really interesting implications, not just for like how the game's going to be structured in the project, because obviously this probably makes it a lot easier to be able to have different projects for each chapter to divide the work, but also it just has a lot of premise about the meta theme. The fact that you're not just going through the game that Gaster has made, you're going through multiple different ones for each chapter, like you're disconnecting between chapters. Like that seems crazy. I feel that like it makes things feel just that bit bigger. I'm really excited to see if that's gonna have any effect on the meta story. But yeah, for the Chapter 1 and 2 demo, we initially commissioned the strange act of smashing both chapters together into one game project. It wasn't such an issue with only 2 chapters, but as the game progresses, doing something like that will become more and more troublesome. If you have used Undertale mod tool and looked into the chapters 1 and 2, the .win file, it's fucking insane. Because essentially they nested chapter 1 in chapter 2. They kind of just brought it over and built chapter 2 around it, which makes things crazy. Because what happened is that every sprite in chapter 1 is separate from the sprites in chapter 2. Which, if you have chapter 1 exclusive sprites or new sprites in chapter 2 isn't a problem. But when you have, let's say, the sprites that are shared by both, like Chris walking right, in the files, there are the sprites for Chris walking right, and then there's the sprites for Chris walking right, chapter 1 edition, which are the same exact sprites, but are nested differently so that they can be used in chapter 1. So like, half the sprites in the game just have duplicates. Because some of them needed chapter 1, and like everything that's used in chapter 1 is labeled chapter 1 in their little sprite as like this exclusive thing. And it's so bonkers. So I get why they want to do this too. Yeah, but here's the kind of trouble that could arise if we didn't have game change. When editing the combined project, we wouldn't know if anything during the process might have inadvertently affected anything at any point in the game. So each time we patch any chapter, we have to test all the chapters over again. Which, to be fair, on one hand I get, on the other hand, every studio that has ever made a game and updated said game has to do this. But if you're actively releasing, like Public Playtime probably has to do this. Actually, maybe not, because I think they have a separate chapter sort of thing. Is it separate games with Public Playtime? I don't actually know. I've never played it. But when you're actually updating a game, you do have to do this. But when you're releasing a game in chapters like Deltarune, it does make more sense to try and keep each one more separate so that they don't do that. GameMaker would potentially be slow to run the game with content on the scale of 3 chapters or more. Really? Crazy. GameMaker Studio would... I mean, granted, Toby wanted to use a better base than GameMaker, so that may be why they have to do this. Because he wanted to switch to a different project, something to code it in, just so it would be more powerful, but he ended up just going back to GameMaker anyways, which is really funny. So instead of, like, upgrading from GameMaker, he's upgrading GameMaker, or getting GameMaker to upgrade themselves. That's really funny. On the player's side, initial loading of the game would potentially take longer and longer as we add more chapters. Yeah, don't want that. Anyway, the point is, with this command, we have a solution to all those issues. With one caveat. The new function is, well, brand new. It has never been tested broadly on many computers and platforms before. Therefore, we would soon like to ask for your help testing it. Let's go! I get to pay money and be a guinea pig. But it's estimated GameMaker will be updated with the new command within the next few weeks. At the time, we will put out a version of Chapter 1 and 2 that uses it, along with more detailed instructions about testing. Oh wait, that's sick! So we're gonna get like a mini update, like a mini actual game update where the game is restructured. I might test that out. It's probably not gonna like change the content in the slightest, but I might like at the beginning of a stream just show off that it's separate games now. See if anything looks different. Yeah, along with some more detailed instructions about testing. I want to be a playtester. That's so cool. For future updates on this topic, just keep your eyes on the official Undertale Twitter. Oh no, not Twitter. Anything but that. But yeah, I get why Toby tried to step away from Twitter and use the newsletters more, but Twitter is still like the biggest platform he has. Well, Undertale Deltarune has not posted in quite a while. They haven't even posted about the newsletter yet. Undertale Deltarune, get your ass going. In the case you don't have a Twitter account, I'm happy for you. True. Yeah, just stay updated on YouTube. Just let others do it for you. You don't need to check out the Undertale Deltarune fandom on Undertale Twitter. It's not worth it. But yeah, Quest 2, make the console versions. Has Queen upgraded her? I'm wondering, is this just a rendition of Queen's arcade machine, or is this like an upgrade of it? Because I like her face at the top. I like all the stuff on the sides. Oh, and there's levers and buttons and stuff. Oh, but like, did they add like a little actual port with a controller so Chris can actually play it without having to stand on Rousey's back and have Susie moving their arms? That's cool. Since our goal was a simultaneous console and PC release, we will have to make console versions of Chapter 3 and 4. It's no problem to get the game running on console at this point, but making sure there's no differences or bugs between the console and PC version will take a bit of time. Yeah, I won't pretend to know how much goes into changing it between console and PC. I don't think too much stuff would have to be changed, like not much of the logic, but at the same time, yeah, you gotta playtest that a lot. Each console manufacturer also has their own special rules and standards, so we have to update the game to reflect those things appropriately. Interesting, okay. We will begin focusing on this as the PC version is reaching completion. And before there's like a there's like a casino area in Chapter 3, and it's just completely taken out of the Xbox release because that would make the game 18 and up. We'll begin focusing on this as the PC version is reaching completion. Quest 3, your Legends of Localization. Oh, I still need to buy the Legends of Localization book. I haven't done it yet. I want to do a stream where I just read it, you know? I think that'd be fun. Cute, kawaii. Actually, like, I've been learning some Japanese on Duolingo. I think this is not hiragana. The other one. Is it here? I don't know. This is the one that has, I can never remember the names. This is the one that has, like, each symbol is like a vowel sound, so it's cute in English with a cute little Rouse say, look at him, he adorable. But then Temmie ups the cuteness with the eyes on this one. And this one it's kawaii, so it's ka-wa-ii. Kawaii. As I mentioned, we are aiming for a simultaneous English and Japanese release. After all, it would be pretty strange if only the first 2 chapters had Japanese and then the third and fourth ones didn't. Sorry, Japan. We're gatekeeping these chapters from you. At this point, getting the Japanese script in the game is trivial. Yeah, he's got like, I mean, Toby knows some Japanese himself. Pretty good amount, but he's also got like official translators in the game now. It shouldn't be too bad. But the location and timing of Japanese text always needs many small adjustments to make it just as good as the English version. Plus, there's always some lines we forget to hand over for translation. Oh, that's such a mood. Knowing how much dialogue is just stuffed into these games. Like, again, Toby just adds more and more, and most of it is dialogue that he adds. So knowing how much is stuffed in these games, Toby just forgetting a line is so valid. But yeah, localization. It's been a hot topic. Actually, I think it's died down a bit, but it's been a hot topic online recently with like anime localization. Thankfully, Toby actually knows Japanese and isn't an idiot and knows that stuff needs to be localized and changed to fit the context for another culture. Chapter 3 localization is already amazing. Now that I can read all the Japanese, cool, I've been able to personally review every single line. Oh, that's cool. Oftentimes, the phrasing in English is very vague, so I try to clarify everything I can for the translation team. Yeah, again, reading Toby writing is like being on the edge of insanity. I can guarantee that so many Birdly lines probably confuse the heck out of the localizers. So I try to clarify everything I can for the translation team. I know localization isn't something that interests most people that much, but I'm really proud. I mean, you sold a whole book about it, Legends of Localization. Granted, that's something that Fangamer was already doing, but a lot of people were interested in that. I need to read that book. I need that book and the Undertale art book. I need to get those books. Oh, it'd be so cool. But I'm really proud. Original creators are very rarely involved in the translation process of their works this closely. That is true. Reading the Japanese and English version side by side could be a great way to study, although rules card might make you stupider. Oh, so we get in some dialogue. Yeah, okay, I did see we had some El Nina dialogue, but I didn't realize this was like for the translation stuff. Okay. System. I'm assuming this is just like photos from in-game maker or something. Because I think the thing on the right is like photoshopped in, the Japanese, because you can see the lines over here. But yeah, we got El Nina dialogue. That's the cloud girl. The weather girl who really makes it rain. Like, with water, though. I mean, I can see why that translation would definitely need a lot of localization, because make it rain, I have no idea if that at all has any equivalent in Japanese, especially since you gotta actually use it literally and bring water back in. And yeah, as much as I would like to read this, I'm not there yet. Being alone. Oh, is this like her, like, recruitment entry? So I guess we can recruit them, like, directly. They're not even just, like, bosses or anything. We just recruit them directly as enemies. That's interesting. But so, that's her, like, check description. She likes Lanano, hates being alone, and her element is water and ice. And I guess that's water and that's ice in Japanese. I can't really see them well. E-N. Oh, because this is actual dialogue, so they've got like the characters in there. Again, if you looked in Undertale mod tool, writing dialogue isn't as simple as you think it is, because you actually have to add like stuff like this for like skipping to another line or adding no. I think slash makes it go to another line, but this like here, this arrow and the one adds like a 1 tick delay or something like that. So it pauses on the comma before loading the rest. Little game maker Undertale dialogue code fact. Ha! So, oh, this is rules. Oh, right, no, it says right here, Rousey. Right, these are the typers. Okay, Rousey. Chris, get ready for another fight. Rules. Ha! Quill your mouth, my dearest Bimbito. We're just here for the snacks. Okay, so confirmation that... So we were right. Rules is gonna be probably in every chapter, because he's in chapter 3 now, but he might not have a fight in every chapter, because he's openly decided not to fight here. Though, I'm not quite sure if I believe that. Toby might just be trying to throw us off. I still think we're gonna have a fight, but Rousey was definitely ready for a fight. Also, he calls Rousey Bimbito now. What does that mean? Is that a combination of bimbo and something else? Did Toby just know that the moment he had Rules call Rousey a bimbo, that he needed to make sure everyone saw that and didn't just have it in like the fight dialogue? Because it only normally appears if you fight Rules during the acid segment, like you actually attack him. So it is very missable. Did he have to make sure everyone sees it? Oh, and Lancer. The hell? You want some treats of the trade? Treats of the trade. Not even sure what that's gonna mean, but you know what? Lancer dialogue is also very confusing, and Rules. No wonder these are the lines that need to be localized the most. System, Ginger Guard. Oh, is this another entry, or is it like battle text? But a steel bangle tempered by extreme flame. Its shape is humanoid in nature. Is this just a cookie cutter? This is a cookie cutout template, isn't it? Because right, they had ginger humans, or no, ginger monsters. Was it ginger humans or ginger monsters? Either way, it's humanoid in nature, so these are probably gonna look more like gingerbread guys. But, Susie, look! I punched through a guy! A bigger one could make Chris. Oh, so they're smaller than normal. Are they like little mini kid size, like ankle biters? But also, Susie, look, I punched through a guy. Immediately sees a guy who's like, oh, and it's tempered by flame. Because it's metal. It was molded that way. But yeah, look, I punched through a guy. She literally punched through its transparent center because there's nothing there. That's cool. And then system, Shadow Guy. Attack 10, defense 11. I think? No, defense 1. Battling's just a side gig. Playing on stage is the dream. Anyway, the localization of chapter 4 will need to be completed before the chapter's release. By the time you read this, I hope that we have already started. I think the characters will be easier to localize in chapters 2 or 3, so hopefully it will be smooth. Interesting. So chapter 3, I think he's saying, is like, yeah, it's done, pretty much. But chapter 4 still needs to be localized. But also implying that it'll be easier to localize in chapter 2 or 3. He did mention before that chapter 3 is going to be less of a story-oriented chapter. It's going to be just more focused on having fun in the game. But chapter 4 is going to be easier. So I wonder if chapter 4 is going to be a little more serious, you know? Because chapter 2, I mean, had a lot of cool stuff, but it also had a lot of goofy stuff, like Queen, Birdly, even some Lancer stuff. That's just goofy-ass dialogue that's hard to translate. Chapter 4, apparently, is going to have less of that, which is very interesting. And then, quest 4, bug hunting. Susie going to chop a Vero Vero-kun. Get him! Poor Rousey's like, no, I thought we were supposed to spare. Releasing a game properly means trying to hunt down every major bug you can find. Fortunately, we have a dedicated company that will test our game and help. A group of professionals will play the game cumulatively hundreds of times in both English and Japanese on every console. Of course, we can't do this until everything else is finished. After all, any change to the project could inadvertently cause an issue. For example, making changes for console could make bugs on PC, making changes for JP could make bugs for EN, etc. Yeah, so a lot of bug hunting. I mean, bug hunting is always the worst. You hear about it with game dev. Tons of playtesting has to go in and you never truly find everything. Because no matter how many people have playtesting, the ultimate playtesting is letting the world play it. But also a dedicated company, is that just like their Deltarune company or is that like Game Maker or something? So this one will be the final steps. Quest 5, even more! And there's a few more things to think about too. Getting the game reviewed by the ratings boards. ESRB, PEGI, yeah, all those. I mean, that doesn't take too long, right? Completing the soundtrack and get it ready for release. Toby, you haven't finished the soundtrack? Dude, that's like the one thing that you're super good at. Come on, man, that's like half the reason you make these games. That's probably not true, but still, they're great. But at the same time, it does harken back to Big Shot in the files being noted as a specific mix, like an unfinished mix. I wonder if Toby's songs actually cook on the back burner for a little while he's trying to organize everything. I wonder if they're actually made later. And then there's making the trailer and release materials and more. Ooh, and more. The trailers. Toby loves those trailers. Put so much into it. But yeah, putting it together. So those are the main steps for getting chapters 3 and 4 ready for release. The order kind of looks like this. Testing new function, soon. Wait, testing new function. Soon. TM. Complete untested chapter 4 English PC version, console ports, Japanese version, other stuff, bug testing, and then release. We'll let you know the progress of each of these things going forward. That's it for this page. Oh, I can leave now. I mean, okay, this is our chart. Testing a brand new ass function, completing an untested chapter, porting it to the consoles in Japanese, and then the rest of the bug testing that comes with that, and then actually preparing for release. So that is a good board, but at the same time, when you think about it, they're not really working on the game for most of this. They're working on just this, and maybe some people are starting chapter 5, but mainly just this, and the game is pretty much done. It's like all the work they're going to be doing on the game is whatever is needed for the ports and fixing bugs, which goes hand in hand with this. So when you think about it, it's really less a matter of work and more a matter of just figuring it out, time. Finding out what needs to be done, just chugging it out and going through it. They're not making stuff the whole time, Honestly, I think this can get chugged out sooner than Toby's implying. I think he's just trying to not get our hopes up. Many people are saying spring. I think this could easily be done, and I think honestly the latest we're gonna get this is Christmas. I think we're gonna get this by Christmas. If I want to be hopeful, they really chugged it out. Maybe Halloween, because that's still a couple months now. Actually, no, that's a solid 3 months from now. So another 3 months, maybe. But I think latest we're gonna get it is Christmas. I think Christmas is a good, safe bet. That's my theory. But now let's get back to the newsletter. Closing thoughts. See, again, we're already near the end. Pretty short newsletter, but the big fan. That makes me think of the Undertale Yellow one. I wonder if Toby's seen Undertale Yellow. He hasn't mentioned it at all besides the Materia Collective situation, but I really want to know if he's played it. But also, I love Undyne's ponytail just going completely straight. Also, what the heck pose is she in? How is she holding her ground? Thank you guys so much for your patience. I am monumentally thankful to everyone still waiting while we get this over this final hill before the release of Chapter 3 and 4. With the progress of Chapter 5, I'm feeling confident that once Chapter 3 and 4 come out, the release schedule for the following chapters will be a lot smoother. You've said this so many times, Toby. It's been 3 years, Toby, and we're getting 2 more chapters good, but there's still 3 to go. Please, Toby, before 2030, please. It's still going to take a good while to get there, but once we do, you'll never have to wait so long for a chapter ever again. Oh, by the way, one more unrelated thing. Alright, Dead Mam's Chest. It's Hololive again! This time, Camellia and I created a song for the legendary pirate Usho Marine. It's got an amazing music video, so check it out. Yep, here's the music video. I've already got it loaded over here, Dead Mam's Chest. Again, I can't play too much of it because it probably definitely is copyrighted, I think, considering Hololive has it. But look at it! It's sick as hell. Like, it's got some really cool fight scenes that, like, she's like the main villain of it. Again, go watch it yourself. It's awesome. But it also will never not be funny to me that Toby's a Hololive stan, specifically to, like, Marine. And I think he's more of a stan for Marine, but he also really likes that other person he made the Fly songs for, I think. But either way, it will never not be funny to me that Toby and Camellia come together to work for Hololive. It's great. And considering the last song that Toby worked on was, what was it? Treasure Box, which was so, like, borderline pornographic at points that Toby actually used a pen name, Yuzi Ino, which is, like, Japanese for annoying dog. He used a pen name for it because he didn't want to be publicly credited on it, despite loving Marine. But I think he's credited, like, yeah, he's credited straight as Toby Fox this time. But so, honestly, it's amazing. Really, go watch this video. Check out Hololive songs in general. Even if you don't like Hololive, the music videos are top-notch. Genuinely love Hololive music. But anyways, yeah, really cool. Some awesome stuff in this. I mean, I love the black and white with red highlights. That's always been one of my favorite video design things. Also, looking a little more there. But yeah, amazing music video, amazing music. Go watch it. Who doesn't want Toby and Camellia music? Like, it's always love it. But yeah, let's see what Toby has to say. Marine's desire was for us to create a boss song about her. Well, Toby's good at that, huh? A serious, intense song that doesn't pull any gags at all. Unlike, you know, the very so sexual that Marine was warned by management to never go that far again, gags in Treasure Box. As a song reference for this, they sent me Megalovania. They said it. Oh no, the original Toby Fox boss song. You know what? I can kind of see it though. And honestly, like, if you listen closely, this does, like, you can hear the Toby Fox. Like, listen. I mean, first of all, this chorus. They play it on guitar a bit. It's both a really good guitar riff, but also really, like, classic style guitar riff, but in a very melodic Toby Fox riff, you know? Like, again, Toby just... I feel like Toby's love for melody is a little bit more rock and roll inspired than people realize. But then you listen. I mean, you hear that like good synth, man. Like the harpsichord coming in. There's these instrument layering over the course of it, and then, yeah, you get the drop here, but the instrument layering in the intro there, this is very Toby Fox. Like, I know Toby's gone on record saying that when he works with Camellia, often what happens is he writes the melody in some basic structure, and then Camellia does the work to make it sound good. But it really does feel like Toby had a lot more inspiration, but also just, like, the instrumentation feels more Toby Fox. I think he had a lot more work on this song than just giving Camellia the structure to work with. But also, like, this piano part right here. This is very Camellia. Toby doesn't do piano parts quite like this. I think this is very good. And again, I'm gonna finish watching this on my own time. You guys could finish watching this as well. Hopefully, I shouldn't play more because they'll probably get copyright striked. But yeah, go ahead and watch this. It's really good. Especially when Toby works with Camellia or on Hololive songs, he definitely brings back the heavy metal guitar, which he really only uses in Megalovania. You know, like, I think the only songs that I can think of Toby using him are Megalovania, Hopes and Dreams, and otherwise it's like outside songs he's made for serious things. Like, he loves some good old rock, I think, and he doesn't get to do it enough. So I think it kind of makes sense, but also it's not any less funny. Anyway, I tried my best to make something cool despite that. Marine's basic concept for the story was about her fighting with a ghost version of herself. Oh, I thought the ghost girl was just like some guardian of the ship. Again, go watch it. It's really cool. Camellia and I ended up fleshing out the story concept while writing the song, and it ended up being used as a basis for the video. Some of my creative highlights include there's a moment where the two Marines' faces become close in the middle of the battle, Ghost Marine special attacks, and the plot twist. What is the plot twist? That it's herself, I guess. I haven't seen the full video. I saw about half of it. I was gonna watch it after this, but it is really cool. I don't know what the plot twist is. Is it just that it's herself? I don't know. I need to watch it after this now. All right, now it's time to set sail. I'll try to give another update in September. All right, goodbye, Toby. Yeah, short newsletter. Really only one outside Toby Fox update, and the rest is Deltarune update stuff. But hey, I'm not gonna diss Deltarune update stuff. I love Deltarune update stuff. Oh, I love Deltarune update stuff, and I love seeing Spamton burn over a campfire. Hey, that's what I did. That's not me, but Gaster. That's what Gaster did. He hung Spamton up over the stove. We've got similar ideas, Toby. Spamton should always be burned alive. He looks like he's having fun there, though. He's having a nice time. And again, a lot of campfire stuff. I think it's the same campfire sprite from earlier, yeah. But yeah, again, short newsletter. Basically just dropping a song and then telling us about how Deltarune's going. But I'm really excited for what's to come. Again, I don't think we've got that long. I don't think we're gonna be waiting till 2025. I think December at the latest, possibly Halloween. I'm so excited for when this comes out. And I mean, it's a really good time frame too, because I feel like the fandom's just coming down from a lot of Chapter 2 stuff. Like Staggering Winds has been doing some things. Friend Inside Me has finally started to kind of die down somewhat. It's not as big, but somewhat. Undertale Yellow hype is starting to die. I wouldn't say, well, the hype is dying down. The fandom's still going strong, but it definitely isn't as like breaking the fandom anymore. And just in general, like a lot of fan games and stuff are coming to close. Like a lot of fan works have finally been able to finish their stuff and get out their Chapter 2 stuff. Like Frozen Heart recently came out. I think Molly Stars' Device Theory video, the final part's going to be released soon. So yeah, I think we're going to have some good time for the fandom to breathe before Chapters 3 and 4 come out. And obviously that's going to explode for like probably a solid 2 years if they're anything like Chapter 2 and it's 2 chapters. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for when this comes out. I'm going to be doing my own things. Everyone's going to be doing their own things to get their stuff out because we don't have a date, but we've got a time frame. And I think that's good enough for me. That's got my hype going. So Spamton, I'm going to leave you to cook. I'm going to leave Toby to cook. And you guys could like and subscribe for more content. And we're just going to enjoy our time in the fandom before the release. That's probably going to break the fandom and the internet yet again. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Again, like and subscribe, and take care. See you next time.